Hey, Mackie Kyle here. I had a question for you today. Have you ever been overwhelmed? Have you just ever been, just felt like you were up to your eyeballs with things to do and alligators and things that you had to accomplish, and it just seemed hopeless and you just wanted to just walk away? That's overwhelm at its highest. And today I wanted to share 4 tips that I picked up from a personal success coach by the name of Pamela Bruner in dealing with overwhelm. Now, the problem with overwhelm is 2 things. First of all, if you are overwhelmed, you've got a million things bing-bonging around in your brain, and your brain can only handle so many tasks effectively at one time. The idea of being a multitasker is absurd. Your brain does one thing at a time really well, or a bunch of things at one time really poorly. So you pick. But what we want to do is get to the point to where our brain is functioning well so that we can make informed decisions. If our brain is overwhelmed with things and worries, we can't possibly make wise decisions. So we end up making poor decisions that further spiral our failures. And we get more frustrated, more fearful, and more overwhelmed. And the second thing that it does is the idea of overwhelm can cause us to just not do anything. We can look and say, this is just so hopeless, I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to throw my hands up and walk away and say, bump it. I'm not even going to try. So Pamela Bruner says there's 4 things that we can do to combat overwhelm. The first thing that she tells us to do is to get a piece of paper and a pencil. Simple little tools that everybody has in their home. Paper and a pencil. And sit down and do what she calls a brain dump. And you need to sit down and write down everything that is floating around in your mind right now, because I can promise you there are 10,000 things floating around in your brain that your brain is concerned about. You need to pick up the laundry. You need to go to your son's ball game, your daughter's ballet lessons. You need to pick up groceries. You need to get the oil in the car changed, and you need to pressure wash the house. All these particular things are floating around in your brain and causing you to be overwhelmed. So I encourage you to take a pencil and write down every single thing that's on your mind, every single thing that you need to accomplish, every fear, every worry, everything. Write it all down. And I guarantee you, if you take about 20 minutes or 30 minutes to do that and to completely do a brain dump and empty your mind, you are immediately going to feel more peaceful right off the bat. But do a brain dump, step number 1. Step number 2, excuse me, is to prioritize your list. Now, the problem with most people when they prioritize their list is they don't have rules for setting priorities on their tasks that they need to do. Because quite frankly, there are going to be some things on your list that you just don't need to do, that you really need to have the courage to say no to. But a lot of people just allow others to guilt them into feeling like they need to do something for them or whatever. But you need to come up with rules and say, hey, is this something that I need to do for my family? Is this something that I need to do in working towards a goal? Is this something I need to do for my business? Is this something that I need to do for my own welfare and mental well-being? And if it's not, then you need to say no to it. You need to say no to it. We need to learn to say no more often in our lives. So number 2, we need to set priorities, and we need to filter out the stuff on our list that just honestly doesn't need to be dealt with. Number 3 on our list is to plan for success. I think you would recognize that all highly successful people are people that have plans for everything in their life. They plan when they're going to eat, when they're going to exercise. A lot of folks even plan when they're going to sleep. So if you're not planning for the things that you need to do during the day, you're not going to accomplish them. And at the end of the day, you're going to feel even more overwhelmed, because you're going to say, oh my gosh, I didn't go to the grocery store, I didn't pick up the laundry, I didn't go get the oil changed, and you're going to feel worse. If you plan and say, okay, I got to go to the grocery store this week, it's going to take 60 minutes. What day do I have a 60-minute block of time that I can go buy groceries? And when you start taking time to plan your day, every minute of your day, and plan for free time, plan for time with your family, block all these things off in your day, you will accomplish more, and you will do it in a more relaxed state, a much more relaxed manner. And finally, the fourth thing that Bruner says that we need to do, and that is to set realistic expectations. I have an uncanny knack of grossly overestimating what I can do in a specific amount of time and grossly underestimating how long it will take me to accomplish a specific task. So I think I can do way more in a specific amount of time than I'm actually able to do it. And I think that whatever I'm going to do is going to take way less than the amount of time that it really does. So again, I wanted to share these 4 tips from Pamela Bruner on dealing with overwhelm. Again, do a brain dump, develop rules for prioritizing your to-dos and tasks on your to-do list. 3, to plan for success, and 4, to set realistic expectations for yourself. And in doing that, you should greatly reduce the amount of overwhelm in your life. This has been Mackie Kyle. I hope you found these tips helpful. I would encourage you to leave comments below. And above all else, I wish you great success.